Golden Way, and we just watched Game 7 as the Cavaliers, in dominant fashion, beat the Pistons to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. But in addition to Game 7, there was also a huge announcement made tonight. The Kia MVP of this season was announced, and it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, now a two-time MVP and now a back-to-back MVP, as he does it two times in a row. And before the game, I had the chance to speak with him right after he was given that award. Let's take a listen to Shai.
Congrats, Shai. Two-time
Thank you.
MVP, back-to-back MVP. Is something about you in that number two? I mean, what's so nice about doing this, not just once, but twice?
Yeah, it's crazy. The first one was hard to, I guess you can say, wrap my head around, but the second one is even more crazier. Just like never thought I'd be here, but it goes to show what hard work and having a good team around you can do for you.
What makes it crazier? Was it harder this time around for the second one?
Absolutely. As the years go on, the talent in the league gets better, guys get more familiar with your game. And then this year as a group, we just had like more injuries, more bumps in the road during the season. The season was just a little bit harder. But yeah, definitely feel like we came out stronger. I came out stronger at the end of it. And I'm glad I can receive the award.
Yeah, this isn't easy. And actually, you are one of 14 players ever to win back-to-back MVPs. In fact, you're now one of two Canadian players to win back-to-back MVPs. So it's you and Steve Nash. What's it mean to you to be a part of such an exclusive club of company?
Yeah, it's special. Whenever you're amongst lists with greats, guys that have done amazing things with the game, the things you dream about, it's always an honor. Always just grateful to be in those conversations. Having a relationship with them is also cool. Go back a little bit, but I'm glad I got to this point. He's helped me a little bit along the way, so I appreciate him as well.
Steve Nash, that is. What's the best advice he gave you?
I would just say like he instilled confidence in me at a young age, like just a guy that achieved that high level of basketball and awards and achievements, to kind of have my back and kind of, I guess at the time, think that I could be an NBA player when not a lot of people didn't, was just pretty special. Just imagine as a kid hearing that from a two-time MVP, you probably think his opinion would matter, right? So yeah, hearing that from him was big for me as a kid.
That belief was huge. And I know there's a lot of belief in the room. I see your team is around you. You lead the defending champion, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And, you know, in your defense of that title, you guys were the top team in the league all season. And what does it take to hold yourself and your team to that high of a standard?
Yeah, it's honestly doesn't take much. I think our one common goal in this room is just to win basketball games and win at the highest level. And when you have that common goal in mind, everything else falls into line. We prioritize winning every day, every practice, every shoot around, every game. And I think that's why we've been able to have success the past couple of years. It starts there.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on number 2 in a row on this MVP, and good luck the rest of the postseason.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, now the two-time MVP, 2 seasons in a row, back-to-back. He did it. He's the first player to win consecutive MVPs since Jokic in 2021 and 21-22. And Stephen Curry, if you remember that 2014 to 2015 season and 2015 to 2016. And Ben, I mean, it's not just that he's the back-to-back MVP. He was also named the Clutch Player of the Year this season. He also went the entire regular season never scoring below 20 points in a game. And the last time that was done was Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor. You're talking about the 1960s. What can you say about the dominance of Shai this season, his consistency, his dependability, his productivity that he brought to the defending champion Thunder?
Well, I love that, he said it didn't take much to hold the team to a high standard, because apparently they already play with a really high standard. And you look at their success in the last 2 years, he's sitting there talking about how hard the season was and how, all the players missed time. They won 64 games. which was a big drop off from their 68 win performance last year. They've been absolutely incredible. You mentioned his 20 game streak, Roz, and he just is so consistent. He makes it look so easy that we've just come to this point now in the season where it's like death, taxes, and Shai scoring 20. He's just going to find a way to do it no matter what. And of course, back-to-back MVPs. You mentioned the rarefied air. That's going to elevate you into historical company. One of the greats that we've seen, certainly.
Yeah, and for me, in talking with Shai, some of the things that stood out too was just maybe the feeling of surprise along the way to be here, winning the MVP back to back, and even speaking to how someone like Steve Nash or other believers, breathed life into these dreams for him that maybe he didn't even have for himself. Let's not forget, he was drafted number 11 in 2018. A player outside the U.S., Canadian player. He hadn't seen it done over and over again, and now is at the cream of the crop of this league.
He was not even the starter at Kentucky when he got there, and his year at Kentucky forced his way to become the starter, then became the 11th pick, then was traded, then was, had that year with the tutelage of Chris Paul. His growth, I think, is probably the biggest part of this story, that when we look back and kind of start talking about Springfield and his legacy and all that, he's just another one of these players, much like Steve Nash, much like Stephen Curry, that has had extraordinary growth in their early and mid 20s, continuing from when his story really starts when he was 13, trying to break into the gym to get extra reps in middle school. So I think that's a huge part of it as well.
Captivating. I mean, all of these different stories of how players get to be great, and his is one about blooming along the way. It wasn't all a given right away. So for a lot of people, I know that's very relatable. Congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as he was named MVP today for this 25-26 NBA season. But let's get it right back to the action that we saw here in Game 7 tonight, with the Cavs coming out victorious over the Pistons. At the presser and podium, we're going to hear from one of the X factors off the bench. 23 points off the bench from Sam Merrill. He's at the podium. Let's listen.
Sam, how are you kind of taking in the moment? You guys winning this Game 7 in dominant fashion, and the role you were able to play in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take moments like this for granted. Nothing better than winning the Game 7 on the road, no doubt. I was my rookie year when I was in Milwaukee. That was the KD foot on the line game, and I remember I was on the opposite baseline. So when he made that shot, I thought it was a three. So I thought we were done. And to win a game like that, like those are, and then here win a game like this, like these are some of the best moments you can have, and it's a lot of fun. Like we got such a good group, such a resilient group, and we have a lot more that we want to achieve, but you can't take a moment like this for granted.
Obviously, it's a team, it's a group, but Donovan Mitchell has made it known how much he wanted to get past this second round, and what can you say about his performance tonight, and just how meaningful is that for you to see him get to that conference finals for the first time?
Donovan is someone that it's hard to describe like what Donovan means to me. I remember when I was in the G League with the Charge, there was one time where we would go after them. So one time I was out there early shooting. They had finished, and so I was just sitting on the side, and he was sitting there, and he came up, and we talked, and we had known each other from the Utah days, but he didn't have to do that. And the moment I signed, got called up from the Charge, like he's been